Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the last race of September. Yes, it's still very much September in the NASCAR Vernors Cup Series. There are 7 races to go in the season, including this one. Yes, you see 200 boards and a 100 board, and you can see a little bit of grass. That should possibly give away where we're at, if not that shot. Wow, pit lane 1 and pit lane 2 is the exact same camera, but yeah, you can even see it. We're at Portland for the Linux 350, I believe, is today's race. And we got a lot to go over. First off, is it the Linux 350? I believe it is. No. That's right. Dawes has a new album coming out, next week, I think? This is the good luck with whatever you're doing. Or is it the good luck with whatever? 350. Yes. Good luck with whatever. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's look at our point standings. 6 drivers now within a race to the points lead. Your points leader by 2 points. 3-time winner on the year who won last week, Brendan Gaughan, has taken the points lead from Joe Biden. But will it stay that way? I don't know. Let's look through our starting lineup on pole. Alfred Hitchcock, he's back. He got 1 pole this year. I believe it was at Sonoma. He's trying to sweep the West Coast road courses. Along to his outside, a definitely needed starting run for Chick Corea. Now, Chick Corea will not win a championship this year. Anybody who is outside the top 35 is mathematically eliminated. But this is still a big run. Starting third is 4th in points, Ian Anderson, only 42 points behind Brendan Gaughan. Alongside him is Carl Edwards in the Subway Special Olympics scheme. Then Harrison Ford, last year's champion, will line up next to Bela Fleck. Peter Perfect up here along with Hut Strickland, who's up to 12th in points. Rounding out your top 10, John Cena and Jerry Springer. Joe Biden, 2 points out of the points lead, starts 11th alongside Snoop Dogg. Then it's Brian Wilson and Burt Reynolds. Morgan Freeman will line up next to Rick Scott. Freeman missed his first race all season last week. Then Jeff Lynne will line up next to Al Capone. Rounding out the top 20 will be Telly Savalas and Grover Cleveland. We get farther back. Donald Fagen is next 2018 champion Richard Simmons. Tom Jones starts next to Hank Hill. A lot of points contenders towards the back. Al Roker isn't really one of them. Tom Hanks was at one point, not really anymore. Third in points, Crow T Robot is 22 points behind Brendan Gaughan. He'll start in 27th alongside Iggy Koopa. And then Denzel Washington and James Bond round out the top 30. Billy Mays will start next year points leader, Brendan Gaughan. He's amassed 3,297 points this year in 29 starts. 3 wins, 7 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and 88 laps led. As we go down trackside for the Grand Marshal to get things started here at Portland. Engines are firing on all 42 drivers, including that of Kathy Bates, who starts alongside David Dayton. Stephen George, he's missed the race, believe it or not. He is 6th in standings. He is 52 points behind Gaughan. He'll start next to Bob Ross. Then Woody Harrelson and Walter White. More points contenders towards the back. Marco Polo's 8th in points. Starting next to 7th in points, Geddy Lee. Lee actually, no, he's within a race. He's 134 points back. Count Dracula, the last points contender. Talk about starting dead last is Woody Woodpecker. He's 51 points back. Top 6 separated by 52 points. Getting ready for 26 laps. Here, in what I believe is the first race in NASCAR Vernors Cup Series history, and it's long storied history to be run in the state of Oregon. This is believed to be the penultimate road course race this year. Not the final one, we believe in 2 weeks' time. We're going to be hitting the infield road course, the trademarked Roval layout at Charlotte. There's 2 really good passing zones here, and they're the 2 long straightaways. There's not really any named corners, they're just turns. 12 turns. Pace car off pit road. At just under 2 miles, we are racing. Chick Corea gets to the lead. He will clear Alfred Hitchcock. Carl Edwards looking to take third from Ian Anderson. He will be able to do so. Harrison Ford hanging tough, though. Chick Corea has never driven at this track before. Sweep it. That was turn 7 already. Turn 8. Now turn 9. This is one. Already we got trouble. Iggy Koopa and James Bond. What happened? Oh! Incident going into turn 4. Koopa and Bond got together. Oh! Let's view this a couple more times. Oh, Koopa. Oh, Bond at a really rough lick. Meanwhile, Chick Corea leads them across the line. Will be credited with leading a lap through turn 1. Now turn 2. This little kink on exit is turn 3, believe it or not. The wide design is due to, I believe there's a drag strip. Through there's the turn. That's turn 6 there, that cut back. Turn 4 is kind of a 2-part corner, a double apex. Turn 7 is the sweeper here. You can see they're still on pit road, the back of the field trying to sort itself out. We could be in for a long one here. Very interesting. You'd almost think some of the drivers towards the back would have faster lap times due to being up to speed going to hit the start-finish line. Now, there we go. Off the final corners. Pits are open. Do we have takers? We appear to have The entire field is looking like it's coming in off of turn 12. Steadily pacing at 44 mile an hour. Iggy Koopa and James Bond their cars have made it back to pit road on the tow hook. Fuel only for a lot of drivers. Some strategy. People take tires. Hank Hill lost his hoods at some point. Must have been, yeah, it was in that stack up. Okay. See, some people extended damage. It must have been from a stack up to get under yellow. So we have the field shuffled around. See, these guys still on pit road while the field is going down the backstretch. Yes, this does have a backstretch. This is your other really opportunity to pass somebody. Is to outbrake them. We're hearing problems on the Burt Reynolds car. Possibly a cylinder down. Or a misfire at the very least. For the restart, Chick Corea, Alfred Hitchcock, Carl Edwards, Ian Anderson, Harrison Ford, Bela Fleck, Peter Perfect, John Cena, Brian Wilson, and Joe Biden. On the apron. Green flag, and they're racing. Poor Woody Harrelson and Marco Polo never even got the chance to make it back up. Oh, as you can see towards the back, several drivers like Count Dracula flirting with disaster as they dip 2 tires onto the grass. Here we see Jerry Springer and Tom Jones battling it out as they head towards the back straightaway. Try squeezing someone into the wall here. Actually, don't do that. That'd be very dangerous. You could cause serious injury. John Cena's picked up 2 spots on the start here. Korea leads over Hitchcock and Edwards. 2 Dodges trying to chase down a Pontiac. Interesting line the top 3 take through that corner. It looks almost more like a racing line for Hitchcock. But somehow, Korea is very much ahead. Ooh. The minor engine damage is enough to render Burt Reynolds' car inoperable. Geddy Lee's got a banged up back end. Chick Corea leading the field. Down the backstretch. Into turn 10 and turn 11. It's this left and then the right. On this tight hairpin there is turn 12. Carl Edwards running in third. It's a very solid race for him. He needs to be having one. He's not even lying. I don't even know if he's returning to this car next season. He's got to hope Brendan Gaughan can make up some spots somehow. Because if Gaughan can win this championship, then theoretically he can use his championship provisional to get in the first few races of next season. Swap owners points and give locked in points to that 94 team to benefit whoever would be coming up through the ranks. As your casual reminder that Goodyear's #1 in tires. Jerry Springer did get past Denzel Washington, Richard Simmons. Oh, look at this. Apparently there is passing if you know where to look. Car into the pits. Geddy Lee. Another car. Brett Bodine. Donald Fagan in very shortly after their last stops. Hitchcock. Carl Edwards. Brett Bodine, just a 4 tires and fuel stop. Very interesting. Moving up a spot, Al Roker. Brendan Gaughan actually was in the 30th, but lost a spot to Woody Woodpecker. Now he's looking for the spot. He's trying to drive under the 21. No stops here. Here comes Springer trying to get a run on Jeff Lynn. This is for the 17th spot. And Lynn is gonna get Springer to his inside. Springer, can he clear? He's got the advantage to turn 5 here. He should be able to clear. Jeff Lynn, he's gonna be on still side by side going into 6th. Lynn with a run. This is big because they're heading into turn 7, another right-hander. And they are still side by side. This battle is unrelenting. Through the turn 9 kink on the back straightaway, and Jeff Lynn may have held onto the position there in impressive fashion, let's be honest. As Springer now gets hounded by Denzel Washington and Richard Simmons. Telly Savalas also back here. Meanwhile, at the front, it's all the Chick Corea show. But meanwhile, Carl Edwards trying to hold off Ian Anderson. Carl literally just racing for wins at this point. He can't win a championship. Woody Woodpecker now trying to get to 29th. It's not going to happen, but he was trying to make a pass on Bob Ross. This is an interesting play for these guys. Yes, they came in ridiculously early. But maybe, just maybe, they're getting essentially the undercut of a century. They just ran their fastest laps of the race. And well, okay, Fagan's wasn't as fast as Chikria's previous lap. They're going for an undercut, but it's so large it might as well be an overcut. Especially considering Chick Corea leads by over 2 seconds. Alfred Hitchcock, Carl Edwards, these two Dodges, both with a one road course win each. Alfred Hitchcock earlier this year at Sonoma, and Carl Edwards, 2010 or something. No, maybe something like that at Sonoma. Wow, Carl Edwards really looking racy on the 43 as Ian Anderson was looking vulnerable. Now the gap up to over a second increase actually that time by Carl runs an interesting line. Oh, Alfred Hitchcock runs a differently interesting line. As we near halfway. Gone. Looked like he's trying to make a move on Kathy Bates. That won't happen, but Kathy Bates looking like she's gonna get back by, or gonna get by the 21 of Woody Woodpecker. Textbook pass. Gone. Gone. Left the door slightly open for Walter White to try and take a shot. Now there's an interesting thing. Geddy Lee's going into turn 1 while Chick Corea's coming off of turn 12. Now nearly 4 seconds the advantage for Corea at the front, who's just running away with this. Hitchcock trying to get away from Carl Edwards. Both of them just trying to get some separation from Ian Anderson. Some guys who have had kind of rough seasons up here. Rick Scott is up here. That's good to see. Snoop Dogg in 11th. Peter Perfect in 10th. Okay, Snoop Dogg's 13th in points. Brian Wilson is up here in 9th. Bela Fleck up in 7th. Two go-home drivers in the top 3. Jerry Springer in 18th. This time by, it will be halfway. Obviously, no clue if they can make it to the end from here because, well, they pitted on like lap 2. They did pit on lap 2. To be safe, they'll have to make it to lap 14. In other words, don't pit this time by and you should be good to the finish. We will see what the Korea of the Chick variety does. And that is called not pit. That's a bottle of Haviland motor oil. 5.5 seconds now the advantage for Chick Corea. Just utterly running away. He just got a bit of separation, and that's just proven to be the vital difference. Obviously, if you tried to cut chicane, you'd get in a lot of trouble because, well, there's a wall right there at the moment. I was wondering about possibly the carousel-ish. If you're very clever, you might be able to somehow snake your way, kind of straighten out that S, but any time gained by straight lining it would probably be negated. Oh, Bela Fleck looked like he was going to be trying to make a move. Hitchcock trying to get a little bit of separation on this 94, as everybody should be good to the finish at most on one more stop. However, when that stop comes would be interesting. If we see drivers come down and around like lap 24, whoo boy, whoo boy. If we make it to 24, I would be surprised if somebody didn't try to chance it on fuel. Unless everybody can stay out. But if some people pit, now it's a 6-second gap. Ugh. Interestingly enough. Oh, Woody Harrelson is actually caught up to the back of the pack. As Brendan Gaughan has fallen to 32nd place. Marco Polo could be catching up soon. Faye and Dracula have caught up. Oh, Count Dracula's caught up to Donald Fagen. There you see Chick Corea completing lap 16, which Geddy Lee has just started on. Starting to get a little bit more spread out here. Alfred Hitchcock. Carl Edwards. Korea leading by a big margin now with 9 laps to go. It's been a very quiet affair. Korea, obviously the highest running rookie, running in the lead right now. We take a look back at a few other rookies in this race. Brian Wilson currently holds down 9th place, a solid effort for the Lowe's Monte Carlo. Rick Scott, a very good 13th for him. He's had an up and down season. Billy Mays completes a pass in Crow T Robot. Interesting. George, wow, there's not actually a lot of rookies. David Dayton in 34th. Rough day. Also a rough day for Count Dracula, who's in 38th position. Blaze Alexander failed to qualify. Forgot to mention that. Along with Casper the Friendly Ghost. Haven't even posted the Portland D&Qs. Oh boy. No one even... Oh! Brendan Gaughan making up a spot. He's up to 31st. He got back around Woody Woodpecker. And if anybody he should be getting around, it would be Woodpecker. Tom Hanks all over the back of Hank Hill. Interesting. Oh, pit stops. Oh, a lot earlier than I was hoping. Alfred Hitchcock leads them down, trying to go for the massive undercut. Brian Wilson, Tom Jones, Morgan Freeman, Jeff Lynn. Telly Savalas, Hank Hill, Crow T Robot. The call is left sides and 1 can of fuel. And these are the guys who already pitted. Ooh, and that's going to be very good results for Donald Fagen. But will they have to pit right at the end of the race? These guys pit on lap 6. I mean, they'll have to run 20 laps, and these guys only ran a 17-lap stint. Oh, boy. Spice. At the front of the pack. Chick Corea leads the leaders down. He's going to lead this lap. By virtue of everybody. Literally everybody comes in. That'll be interesting to see. Where does Alfred Hitchcock come out in relation to, well, probably not Korea. Korea, I'm expecting the, right sides. Very interesting strategies. Going into the turn. Oh! There's Cena, Ford, Anderson, Carl Edwards, all undercut. Alfred Hitchcock. Overcut. My bad. Carl Edwards the second. Ian Anderson the third. Hitchcock trying to get around Harrison Ford or John Cena, whichever one doesn't get around the other. Bela Fleck will be in seventh. Donald Fagen has massively undercut everybody to eighth if this holds up. Dracula is in 10th. Geddy Lee is actually mid-pack now. Gone falls behind Woodpecker and Bates. Polo still far behind. Chick Corea, Carl Edwards. We saw 18 laps is the longest stint. Can anybody run 20 and really gamer themselves? Chick Corea leads. His gap is 7 seconds over Carl Edwards. Ian Anderson all alone in third. Alfred Hitchcock now up to fourth. Round Harrison Ford in a fifth. Donald Fagen now is sixth. John Cena seventh. Count Dracula eighth. Bela Fleck ninth. Peter Perfect holds down the 10th slot. Joe Biden looks like he could easily take the points lead after this race. Brendan Gaughan in 35th, not at all where he needs to be. Now with the Big O coming up and another road course. Well, yeah. Chick Corea leads with 4 to go. Ian Anderson under fire from Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock wants to win from the pole twice. I don't think he can do it, but he might be able to get... I'm not even sure he can get the second, but he'd sure like to get third. Ian Anderson wants to stay as far ahead of the 12 as Joe Biden as possible. He entered this race 42 points back. At the moment, it is a race between 3rd place and 11th place. And at the moment, I believe Biden would be your points leader. I believe by 5 points. These guys coming in for a slash. The 11 couldn't make it. The 99 couldn't make it. They went 17 laps. That spells disaster for the 19 of Donald Fagen, who lost 6th place to John Cena. Meanwhile, Chick Corea just got to stay out of trouble for the next 2.5 laps. These guys are pretty far behind. There you can see how far Lee is behind. Oh, it's getting very tight towards some of these. There's Donald Fagan. His hopes of a good finish are over. He came up 2 laps shy. Speaking of 2 laps, that's all Chick Corea has to do. He's got a 7-second advantage over Carl Edwards. Fagan is going to be racing for 37th. With Count Dracula, they nearly collide! Going into turn 1, they're side by side through the chicane. Donald Fagan with the drive off will hold on to 37th position. Interesting results. Brendan Gaughan managed to get by Bob Ross this lap. Speaking of laps, there is 1 lap to go. But even if Carl Edwards didn't take the chicane, if that wall was open and he went into turn 4 at speed, I still think Chick Corea would win this race. The gap down to 6.62. Carl Edwards closed in that time, but it's not going to be enough. Biden up to 9th. He's going to be the points leader once again. Chick Corea, a handful of turns away. He's struggled to make races. He's been outside the top 35 in owners' points all season, but the defending Melling Series champion is now a NASCAR Vernors Cup Series winner. Chick Corea is your winner at Portland. Carl Edwards, a valiant second place finish. Probably the closest he came to victory since a part-time start last year in the Dr. Pepper World 600. Brendan Gaughan up to 30th at the end of the race. Got around David Dayton. On the cooldown lap, he got around Stephen George. Geddy Lee will come across the line and make the results of this race official. This, the 30th race of the season. 5/6 of the way through. There you see Burt Reynolds, Iggy Koopa, James Bond. Feel free to pause if you want to see the results. This is going to shake the points right up. As we head into, I believe, Ontario next weekend for the Los Angeles Times 500. Also, a Melling Series race at, of all places, Texas World Speedway. As we close out our fall West Coast swing. Joe Biden, your points leader. Only 6 drivers within a points race now. Ian Anderson, 13 back. Brendan Gaughan, 63 back. Crow T Robot, 73 back. Stephen George, 109 back. And Woody Woodpecker, 132 points back. It's anyone's guess who's going to win this championship. Everybody still in the top 35 mathematically in it. Donald Fagan, oh, he was up to 33rd in points. Well, Count Dracula's still in it. Donald Fagan, Tom Jones, they're very much at risk of being eliminated. Chick Corea, believe it or not, does not move up any races in points. But considering he's missed 11 races, that is a decent stat line. "59 drivers have taken part in a race this year. Will we see a 60th? Probably not. At least not next weekend at the Big O, Ontario. Scott Roush led 2 laps and is a winner. Rick Mast. Eggsy's up. Kaminari, of course, has one more attempt on the year. Anyways, that's Portland. We'll see you next time. We'll be at Los Angeles or Texas World or wherever, or Gateway. That's the next race the truck is. Or whenever the next time you catch us. Until then, I'm Western Caves, signing off.